Hello and welcome to my channel where I discuss ways that you can have more freedom, joy and profit in your business. It is a pleasure to have you here. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button and you can be the first to know every Monday when I release a new video. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking to you more about why is it clients are ghosting you? Why is it after you've sent a proposal, it is like crickets? You thought you got on really well, but however, you just don't seem to be converting like you were a few years ago. We're going to be talking about why that might be and how it is that you can take them from a I'm not too sure to a hell yes, let me sign on that dotted line right now. So welcome everybody, my name is Bernadette and I am a creative business and mindset consultant, and I help my clients transform their businesses so they can scale and grow, more specifically so they have more freedom to do what they want to do, they can live a life full of joy and make profit at the same time. So as I discussed in our intro, today we're going to be talking to you more about why is it clients are not buying from you right now? Why is it that the conversion is perhaps not as strong as it was a few years ago? Now, on a recent call with my UKWP members, which is a wedding business membership that I also own through my second business, members were highlighting to me that the conversion process seems to be taken longer than it has in the last few years. The nurturing that they need to do is far more intense than in previous years. And we had a discussion about why this might be and debated the different reasons. And honestly, I feel it's a combination of two things. I think clients need more reassurance right now that their suppliers can be trusted, that if they're handing over their money, that the supplier and that they are contracting can do what they need them to do. But also, I do feel that some of it is concerns about the economy. And the knock-on effect with that, regardless of how much money a client has, the knock-on effect is they are being more intentional with where they are spending their money. And it comes back to that reassurance. They want to know that you are the right person for them. So how is it that you can give reassurance to your potential clients right now? Instead of becoming frustrated that you've sent a proposal and you haven't heard from them, how is it that you can offer them that reassurance they need without them actually asking you? So in this episode today, I'm going to be talking to you about ways that you can improve that client experience and take them from a prospect to a confirmed customer. I do want to sort of caveat this though with saying that this particular episode is primarily aimed at business to consumers. It's more those that are in the service industry, but also product industry like cake makers, florists, people like that. We're not going to be discussing lead magnets. That is not what this is about, okay? What this is about is that you have had the leads come in, you've had the inquiries, you have possibly sent the proposal, but it's gone silent. So we're going to talk about how you can get them to work with you instead. As always, I have written an article on this, so if you look down below, you'll see all the relevant links and you can pop on over to my blog and you can read about it as well if you would prefer. So we're going to cover 5 different steps to help you understand why your clients are perhaps hesitant right now and what you can do to move them forward. So the first thing that I want to talk about is really advocating a customer-led approach. Now, I've spoken about this before, and it's something I feel really passionate about. It can be all too easy to be swayed by outside sources, to start offering services based on what your competitors offer, and not ones that are really aligned with your ethics and your values. So instead, what I encourage you to do is put yourself in the mindset of your client first and consider what is it that they need from you. Don't sell a service for the sake of selling a service. Instead, ensure it's the best fit for the client. So at times clients will come to you for one service but actually need something very different, and it's your duty to ensure that your client walks away with what they need. I'll give you an example. Just this week I had a call through my other business, the UKWP, who wanted more information about the training courses that I run for wedding planners. So I spoke to her about this. She has a floral and design business right now. And when I was speaking to her, I said, I don't think our courses are right for you. I don't actually feel that wedding planning is a path that's right for you. I can sense that isn't where your passion is. And we had a further discussion about what her passions are, what her zone of genius is, and we worked out a different path for her. It would have been all too easy for me to say, yes, become a wedding planner. It's a fantastic idea. You can easily add it onto what you're doing now. Here's my courses, pay now. But I didn't feel it was right for her. So I won't sell something for the sake of selling something. I have to sell with integrity, and I have to listen to the needs of my potential customer before I sell them something. So ensure that the service or product that you are selling is actually something that is needed and wanted. So let me ask you this, when was the last time that you conducted any research into your ideal clients? Have you asked current and past clients what they want from businesses right now? Ask them questions to understand what they're thinking and what they're feeling right now. I'm very much into feelings because I believe that's part of the selling process. So what is it that your clients need from you right now? And does your product or service match that need? In other words, have you created the concept that your clients need and want, or one that you think they need? Have you created something because you think it's fabulous, but actually isn't something that anyone else is interested in buying? So in my opinion, knowing your client deeply enables you to be able to market to them. When you can market to them professionally and suitably, then you're able to sell to them. You know, you can't have one without the other. Now, I'm not going to be talking to you about ideal client identification today. I'm not. I'm going to assume that you have done that. But if you haven't, go back and really understand what is it that your clients need right now. Even if you feel that you're crystal clear on who your clients are, I would encourage you to conduct some research so that you can really understand what is it that they want right now. And just do an audit and ensure that what you're offering is matching that need. Because when you truly know your clients, their pain points and questions, only then can you market to them. Okay, let's move on to point number 2, which follows on quite neatly from what we were just discussing. And this time is thinking about the questions that your clients might have about hiring you. So we've just spoken about having an understanding on who your clients are, what it is they need, what are their pain points, and how is it that you can help them. So creating a service that they truly want. But now, kind of the next step is to think about what questions might they have about actually hiring you. Okay, so we've identified the pain points and all of that, but what questions would they actually have before they even ask you those questions? What are their hesitations about working with you? They would have connected with you potentially across social media or your website. You may have had a conversation with them. You may have sent them a proposal, but why is it that they're not hiring from you right now? So think about how the questions that they might have include, how will this service help me? Does this service that you're providing solve the problem that the client has? Can you prove that it works? Do I trust this company, i.e. you, in terms of ethics and values? Is there another company, a competitor, that's actually better? Does this price align with the budget that I have? So these are all questions that your clients may well have. They may have fallen in love with you, love your work and all of that, but they will still have questions about whether you are the right person for them. So how is it that you can answer those questions without them actually answering you? Because these questions could well be in their subconscious. They are providing the hesitation in regards to working with you, but they're not actually voicing those questions to you. Which part of when you're running a business is understanding, okay, what might their objections be and how is it that I can deal with that. So are you providing your potential clients with the information they need to make an informed decision? Create a bank of content. So think of the questions that they may well have, and then ensure that you're answering those questions within your marketing. Because then when your clients are exploring whether to work with you, they can see that actually some of their concerns have been answered within your marketing. It also enables you to forward certain content onto them as well. Okay, the next step, so point number 3 is, I call this walk the walk. Sorry, my mouse has been a bit annoying there. I call this walking the walk of your client. So when training wedding planners, I always recommended that when they visited a wedding venue for a potential client, that they walk the walk of a guest on the wedding day. So in other words, when a guest arrives, what's the entrance like? Do they know where to go for the ceremony? Is it well directed? Is it signposted? Is someone helping them? When they arrive at the ceremony, do they know what to do, where to sit? After the ceremony, on to the drinks reception, who's directing them? Do they know where to go? And then likewise, so for every step of the wedding day, I advise that wedding planners really think about that and ensure that the guests can feel special throughout that process. And it's the same with business. So imagine yourself in your client's shoes. So from initial contact to the end of the service, how is that customer journey? Now, I will be talking about customer journey more on another video, but how are you making them feel? Are you directing them to what is next? Are you showing them the way without them needing to ask you the way? Are you inviting them to confirm a booking with you? And if they do they know what happens next? So in other words, again, imagining that you are your client, that you have sent, for example, a proposal to them. Are you directing them what to do next? Have you just sent it and gone, here you are, ta-da! And are you directing them on what you want them to do? Are you giving them information on where they can find testimonials? Are you highlighting with them what the next steps are? If you'd like to proceed, these are the steps that you'll be taking. So don't just send a quotation or a proposal with no indication on what those next steps are. Make it easy. I always say to my clients actually that almost imagine that a child is looking through your work or through your website. How easy is it for them? So in other words, can they understand what you're doing? Can they understand where to go? And it's the same thing when you're sending a quotation or a proposal. Is it clear and concise? Do they know what to do next? Where to go for further information? If they want to confirm the booking, what do they need to do? If they have questions, where can they find the answers to the questions, or how can they book a call with you in order for you to discuss them? So look at it from a point of view of your client. So take kind of like a view, overhead view into what you're sending to your clients, and is it easy for them to understand how it is that they can work with you? Is it easy for them to feel that trust and feel that reassurance that they need? Okay, the fourth step for you is showing your authority. Now, I know particularly for Brits, we find it difficult to do this. And in fact, members on the call recently were saying that, they hate talking about themselves and they never highlight their accolades and what makes them amazing. They shy away from it. But the truth is, you need to. If you want to be known as the expert, the authority in your particular field, somebody that they can trust, then you need to show them examples. They want to be able to trust you. They want to know that you are the right person for them and that their money is safe in your hands because you will be delivering on what you've said that you're going to be delivering on. So saying that you can be trusted doesn't hold as much weight as showing them. So how is it that you can be showing them? This could be past client testimonials. It could be showing your workmanship. So if you're a florist, actually showing your bouquets. If you're a cake maker, actually showing your cake. So how is it you can showcase your workmanship, the quality of your work? Of course, this can also be in your gallery, your portfolio. So your workmanship is actually incredibly important. Any press features. So if you've been featured elsewhere, that means somebody else is saying how good you are and how you can be trusted. And what about examples of you working with other clients on a similar service, a similar product? So showing them that you are that expert, that you can be trusted, that you do have that authority. So how is it that you can do that? Okay, and then moving on to step number 5 is, and the most important one, asking for the sale. So sending a proposal and then just sitting back and waiting for them to call with a yes or no and then sulking when you don't hear from them. No. You cannot be passive. You need to be asking for the sale. So when you send your proposal or your quotation, make sure that you're including a section on those next steps. So instead of persuading a client to work with you, take them through that customer journey with you instead. So this is not about forcing someone to work with you, but I do encourage you to sell in an ethical manner and only selling what the client needs. But you do have to ask for the sale. Quite often in the creative industry, I see clients just posting the pretty aesthetic images again and again and again and again, and actually you look through all the content and not once are they encouraging somebody to book a call or to book them for a particular service. You are a business, okay, so you need to ask for the sale. So there are a number of ways that you can be doing this without sounding like a car salesman, because no offence to car salesman, because in fact my stepdad was a car salesman, but I always use that as an analogy. So if you're happy to proceed, just hit reply to this email, and then it might be, I will then forward a contract and invoice. Once received, we're good to go, and we can start working on particular projects immediately. If your client isn't if your client is unsure, they're still not quite ready to commit right now, then it's time to pick up the phone and have a conversation. Sometimes when you're trying to do it over email, it doesn't come across quite right. So leave them a voice note, send them a link to book a call with you, or just call them and understand more about what their objections are and why they're hesitant to book. Reassure them they can take as much time as they need to feel comfortable, but you're conscious that you only have a certain amount of length of time to whatever the objection is. Remind them that no service is confirmed without a contract and payment. So what do I mean by this? So let's use this with the analogy of an interior designer, and you've been contacted to provide a quotation to do all of the house before they move in. Perhaps it's a new house and they want the whole house done before they actually move in. So in this instance, so you could be saying, you're conscious you only have 6 months until you move into your home. And so, I'm eager to get started with you as soon as possible. So having a time objective will remind them that actually time is of the essence, and the longer they leave it, the harder it will be to achieve whatever that objective is. You may also want to highlight the fact that no booking is confirmed, and that the quotation is only valid for such and such time. But have those conversations with them. So understand what the objections are and how is it that you can answer those objections. So this might be that not too sure if we can afford it right now. So in that instance, if it's a money objection, what figure fits within your budget? And then you don't reduce your fee. You can do a second proposal, so you're reducing the level of service that you're providing them that then matches with the budget that they have. But you should never reduce the service, or you should never reduce the fee just to fit their budget. So in other words, if they want to pay less, then you do less. I've spoken about this so many times before in the past. It could be their objection is that they are not actually the decision maker. So although you've had the call with them, somebody else is in charge of making the decision. That could be a business partner, that could be a personal partner, a loved one. Great. Let's get on a call with them as well. Say that you're really happy to speak to them. Let's jump on a call, and then you can highlight more about the services to them. Because the person you spoke to has got that connection with you, but their partner, whether business or personal, has never spoken to you. So all they're doing is looking at the black and white proposal objectively with no feelings. And we all know that actually feelings come into play. So think about, have you asked for the sale? Are you following up on any proposals and quotations that you are sending? Are you highlighting how it is they can actually make a booking with you? Have you told them what the next steps are? Have you shared with them any time constraints in terms of your availability, whether you've reserved yourself for them, anything like that? Are you listening to the objections that they have and then responding? Now, a little hint is that you think about what those objections are, and then you come up with your responses way in advance, and you have a little content pool of some of those objections so you're able to answer them. So my closing thoughts are that it's okay to say no. If a client doesn't want to work with you, it's okay. They weren't the right client. There's going to be another client. The next client is the right client for you. Remember that each no that you get is leading you closer to those yeses. So if they say no, it's okay. But don't just leave a proposal hanging. You have to follow up. You have to understand, why is it that they are not making a decision right now? Review the journey with that prospect. Was there anything you would have done differently next time? Anything that you could change? And what are your learnings from it? It's so important to actually learn from each booking we didn't get, as well as learning from the ones that we did get. So in another episode, I will be covering the customer journey once they've been hired with you. But this is just helping you understand more about why is it that conversion is taking a little bit longer, and how is it that you can nurture them and help them say yes to you. So just to summarize, that was advocating a customer-led approach, really thinking about the questions that clients might have about hiring you in particular. Walking the walk of your client is actually so good to do. Showing authority, highlighting again why you're the right person. and 5 is asking for the sale. So I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. As I said, the link to the blog is just down below, along with all my social media accounts. So do come and say hello over there as well. And otherwise, I will see you next week for another episode, helping you scale and grow your business so that you can have more joy, more freedom, and more profit. Until next time, bye.